and welcome to my YouTube channel CocoLiveFit. My name's Nicola Dennis and I'm a fitness coach. I'm here to get day 1 of our 3-day Let's Get Moving fitness challenge started. Our session today comprises of 30 minutes of total body resistance training. Our focus is going to be on working the major muscle groups in our body. We have 5 different exercises that we will be doing 3 rounds through. We will start with a nice warm-up, move into our main resistance session and end it with a lovely relaxing cool down. The only equipment you will need for this session is an optional set of dumbbells. If you just want to work with body weight and you're new to exercising, that is absolutely fine. Please remember to work within your own range of motion. Challenge yourself if you can. Give it your all, and we're in this together, so let's just go for it, okay? Before you get started, please do a risk assessment of the space that you'll be using. Ensure you have a clear space to do your exercise, okay? Have a bottle of water ready and a towel because you're going to need it to wipe all that sweat off. I'm going to get my timer on now and we will get started shortly. And we're getting started into that warm-up, so get ready. We're starting with that lovely jog, slowly raising your heels off the floor, keeping that core nice and engaged from the very start. We want to gradually increase our heart rate, warm up our muscles and our joints, preparing ourselves for the session ahead. And moving into the shoulder rolls. So nice and easy, rolling the shoulders up into the forward and taking it up and back, really mobilizing that shoulder joint there. Moving into those hip circles, so keeping your feet a little wider than shoulder width apart, palms on those hips, circling to one side and moving into the opposite side. Moving into a squat with a push and pull with a squeeze. So distributing that weight evenly through those feet, sending those hips back, knees follow in line with those toes, pushing your palms forward, and as you come up to the top, drawing those elbows back and squeezing the shoulder blades together. We're including these movement practices because we will be doing exercises in our session similar to these. Keep a soft bend in those knees going into that hip hinge there. Sending those hips back. Keeping those fingertips beside your temples. Drawing the elbows back. You can use this hip hinge as a variation during your deadlifts if you're not holding on to weights. Really going to feel it at the back of those legs. And moving into those alternate forward lunges. So stepping one foot at a time, distributing the weight evenly between both legs, keeping that core engaged, keeping the chest lifted. Those knees follow in line with those toes. The rear leg is roughly an inch off the floor. And moving into a knee to an elbow twist. So keeping a soft bend in those knees, drawing one knee up to the opposite elbow. we're almost done with our warm-up, so I hope you're nice and warm because we're moving into our main session. So get ready, we'll be starting with round number 1, starting with a squat and a press. So keeping those feet a little wider than shoulder width apart. Sending those hips back as you gradually lower down. And really using that force as you press up from that squat, going into that shoulder press. Remember to keep your core engaged throughout. We're quickly transitioning into our next exercise, which is going to be a deadlift. So remember, you can use the hip hinge variation that we did during our warm-up movement practice if you're not holding on to weights here. But if you have a set of dumbbells, go ahead and use them. Keeping a nice soft bend in those knees, hinging from that hip. Really lowering down slowly and gradually. Squeezing the buttocks on your way up. Keeping the chest lifted, drawing the shoulders back. And we're moving on to our next exercise, which is a push-up. You come down to the floor for this. You can do the modified push-up like I'm doing with my knees on the floor, or to challenge yourself if you can, keep your knees off the floor. So the palms are shoulder width apart, really keeping that spine nice and long, keeping that core engaged there, squeezing those buttocks and keeping the quads really engaged. Gazing slightly to a point in front of you to keep that neck nice and long. And moving on to our back row with triceps kickbacks. So keeping a slight bend in those knees again, slightly tilting at an angle, hinging from those hips, drawing those elbows up, keeping it close to your rib cage, and extending those arms back. We have a tendency to swing during this move, so really be really mindful of the movement, really controlling it. And moving on to those alternate forward lunges. So again, remember to distribute evenly the weight through both legs. So stepping one foot forward at a time. Really keeping that core engaged, chest lifted. It's okay if you can't get as low down. You will definitely progress with practice.
So nice and easy, really taking your time at it. Form is more important. So just being really mindful of your movements. We're going into our first 30-second rest. So really take this time to hydrate. We'll shortly be moving into the next round. So moving into round 2. Again, in round 2, we'll be starting with that squat and a press. So get ready, moving into round 2. Moving into that squat and a press there. Really using that force to drive up as you come up for that shoulder press. And transitioning into our deadlifts. Keep a soft bend in those knees again. Really slowing down the lowering phase of this move. And as you come up to the top, squeezing those buttocks. It's amazing how simple it is to get a really good workout in the comfort of your own home. Even if you don't have weights, you can just do body weight exercises. But having a pair of dumbbells helps you challenge yourself a little more. And lovely, we're done with that. Moving into our push-ups again, so coming onto the floor. Really taking your time with this move. Keeping that spine and neck nice and long. Keeping that core engaged. And moving on to our next exercise, back rows with tricep kickback. Again, be really mindful of that movement. You may have a tendency to swing a bit, really control it. and transitioning into this alternate forward lunges. It's okay if you can't seem to get your knees as low down to the floor. Just work within your own range of motion, and the more you do these moves, so the more practice you get, you'll definitely be able to progress. And we're going in for our rest again. So take this time to hydrate. Just remember to keep hydrating as and when you need throughout all these exercises. It will definitely help you do them a lot better. So moving into round 3, starting with that squat and a press. This is our last round, so just to give it your all. Whatever you have left, just put it all into this round, okay? Going into that squat and a press. Remember again, those knees follow in line with those toes. Really using that force again as you drive up, pressing those arms up for that shoulder press. Again, if your range of motion limits you and you can't get as low down, that's absolutely okay. You will surely progress. Just keep practicing. And moving in to those deadlifts. Nice soft bend in those knees, squeezing those glutes on your way up, keeping that core engaged. Inhaling as you lower down, exhale as you come up. And coming onto the floor for those push-ups. You just have a few more seconds to go. So it's okay if you need to go a little slower, but just keep at it. I know you're probably feeling a bit tired by now. Just a few more seconds to go, and we'll transition into our next exercise. 3, 2, and 1. Now we're done with those push-ups. Moving into those back rows with triceps kick back. Lovely, we're done with that. Moving into this alternate forward lunges. Again, just work within your own range of motion. Just a few more seconds to go. This is the last exercise for our main resistance session. We'll shortly be moving into our bonus round. We're done with that. Going into the 30-second rest. Moving into that bonus round, we're doing one arm exercise, which we'll repeat for 4 rounds, 10 seconds of rest in between each. So going in for that knee to elbow twist. So drawing the opposite knee to the opposite elbow, keeping that core nice and engaged. Keep those fingertips next to those temples. It's okay if it's a bit challenging to get your knee all the way up to those elbows. Just do the best you can. In time, you will surely see yourself progressing. So keeping a nice soft bend in those knees there. A quick 10-second rest before we move into the next round. So again, we are repeating the same exercise. Moving into the third round for this knee to elbow twist. Really firing your core up throughout all these movements. Definitely working those abdominals there. We're moving into our last round of the knee to elbow twist. just have a few more seconds to go, so do your very best. Whatever you have left, just put it into this. Just 30 seconds to go, and we'll be moving into a lovely cool down and stretch. You can see there, I'm looking forward to that lovely cool down and stretch. Oh, we're done. Well done, everyone. So get ready to move into that cool down and stretch. Have a sip of water if you need to. We're moving into the deltoid stretch there, stretching the back of that shoulder. So drawing your forearm across to the other arm. So you can hold at the top of your arm or at the opposite forearm. Avoid resting it at the joint. And switch to the opposite side. We're going in for the tricep stretch, so holding on to the opposite arm, slightly below that elbow joint, and switching to the opposite side. And interlocking the fingers behind your back, stretching the front of the shoulders, going into the chest stretch as well. And moving into that quad stretch, so holding on to the foot, keeping those knees together. Your heel may be touching your buttock or not, but that's okay. Really pushing those hips forward, feeling the stretch in front of the thigh. And switching to the opposite side. Again, drawing the heel up as close to your buttock as you can. Going in for that hamstring stretch, soft bend in those knees there, placing the palms on the shins, feeling the stretch at the back of that leg. And we're moving into our last stretch, so going into that spinal twist. Keeping your palms on your hips, turning to one side, coming onto those toes if you can. Feeling a lovely stretch in that spine. And switching to the opposite side. And release. Interlock those fingers. Take a nice deep breath as you stretch up and exhale. Well done, everyone. Good effort on completing day 1 challenge.
Whew, that was quite a workout. I really enjoyed that. I hope you all enjoyed it as well. Please like, comment and share this video. Subscribe and turn on the bell notification for more new videos. Look out for day 2 of our fitness challenge. It will be coming up soon. Thank you so much everyone for joining me. Take care, stay happy, and let's keep moving.